Cleanup work continues at Masseys, the boosted quick disconnects receive pipework at Sanchez, pile drilling commences for the new Giga Bay at the build site, and the water deluge farm set to receive more water tanks at the launch site. Hey everyone, and welcome to RGV Aerial Photography's Starbase Flyover update number 89. Once again, the weather this week was perfect for another fantastic flyover. The flight took place on July 10th at an altitude of 6,000 feet and captured all the fast-moving action at the now officially named Starbase Texas. My name's Jeff A, and I'll be your guide today, so let's kick back and take in the latest views. We'll start over at the Masseys test facility. Thanks to Proky for creating these maps for each of the sites. Here's his labelled map to find your way around Masseys. Beginning at the methane tank farm, we can see that everything has been removed apart from the vertical cryogenic tanks, which are in the process of removal at the time of writing. A new LR1300 crane is arriving to assist with the rebuild of the site. Crews can be seen cutting concrete to access underground utilities. This is a sign of a complete redesign of the methane side of the tank farm. Moving to the middle water tank in the deluge farm, we can see 3 squares have been ground to test the condition of these tanks. This is similar to what is happening on the static fire stand, with squares also visible on the legs. Now at the side of the flame trench ramp, the old boosted quick disconnect frame can be seen laying on its side after being removed. Beside the ship cryo stand, a large concrete pad is being formed. It's speculated to be a new control bunker to replace the one that was removed. This spot was previously a covered work area. At the front of the site, containers have been lined up, with roof beams being assembled to create a new work area farther from the test stands. That's all for Masseys. Let's move to Sanchez. Let's take a look at the map to better understand the current areas at Sanchez. Thanks to Proky for making these. Starting with the boosted QDs, where some welding work is taking place, we are excited to know how these will look installed on the OLM. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Pipework is being installed inside with what appear to be the main supplies. To the side of them, 2 pieces are staged that appear to be the QD plates. Work continues on the boosted version 3 transport stand. In order to be completed, the hold-down clamps need to be installed. We'll keep an eye out for that. The black and white bases that we saw getting built last week are now being stacked, with more frames appearing. What do you think this will be for? Near the SQD arm, one of the pipe fabrication areas has begun in some new assemblies. These pipes have rows of holes drilled in a pattern that might suggest that they are part of additional water deluge systems at Pad 2. Hidden within the maze of parts near the inventory tent, a few items have appeared that could be the hold-down clamps for the Pad 2 OLM. So far 7 of them have been spotted. Now take a look at this render from Chrome Kiwi, who has modelled how these items appear to fit within the clamp arms and how they might be actuated with the linkages we've discussed in past weeks. At the gas power plant, dismantling work continues smoothly with black boxes and the final radiators gone. Last but not least, paint is being applied on the final section of Remedius Avenue. In just a few days, it will be reopened for vehicles to roll to and from the build site. Just before moving to the build site, we'd like to thank all of our YouTube and Patreon members. Remember, all the patrons get to participate in our show and tell sessions on the same day of each flight. Here, you can join in the discussions and ask your own questions. YouTube members also get to watch and listen in with a live chat function. Beginning at the Giga Bay lot, piling has started on the foundations. They drilled 27 in the first 2 nights on the wall nearest to the Star Factory. On Monday, July 7th, Booster 18's methane transfer tube was rolled out of the Star Factory. It was connected to the crane in the Mega Bay, then raised vertically. The transfer tube was installed into the LOX tank of Booster 18, as confirmed by a SpaceX post on X. They shared stunning images of the operation, noting that this section is roughly the size of a Falcon 9 rocket's first stage. It will enable faster, more reliable flip maneuvers with the ability for simultaneous engine startup. Moving around to the back of the Star Factory, all of the HVAC equipment has been removed from Tent 4, the previous home to the tile bakery. Looking through the tent door, it appears rather empty, and the tarp has been disconnected from the roof frame on the Mega Bay 2 side of the tent. The new loading dock to the rear of the Star Factory has almost all of its roof installed. At the multi-storey apartment building, workers continue to build the concrete foundations. They are also stripping the forms from the car park ramp. Before we continue on to the launch site, make sure to give us a like and subscribe if you've enjoyed our content so far. Our goal is to reach 80,000 subscribers by the end of the year. As Pad 2 progress begins to branch to the areas around the flame trench this week, we see the lower portion of the lock's BQD receiving its top ring. An L-shaped staircase rises from the bunker. There is also a cutout opposite the staircase, suggesting another one may be installed to access parts of the upper hood once it's complete. Along the eastern exit of the trench, welders are continuing to attach the steel trench plating into a continuous blast surface. At ground level, excavation of the concrete slab is complete, with the entire area being fitted with rebar. Running through the slab is a water drain pipe. It's unclear where this pipe will originate, although it's running in the direction of where a retention pond is expected to be, at the southwestern corner of the launch site. On the opposite side of the flame trench, the second blast plate for the flame deflector ridge is staged for installation. Further trapezoidal plates that will further protect the ridge ends are seen nearby and near the LR11000 crane. To the left, we can also see that some steel plates have arrived. The width of these pieces is the same as the rectangular panels of the ridge cover, and some have a contour that closely resembles the flame diverter. These appear to be panels to cover the gap between the flame diverter and the trench walls. If we look closer at the trench, new beams now extend from the flame diverter to support these plates. Looking around the back of the tower, the concrete work for the tower propellant trench is complete. The area alongside is being prepared for concrete as this side of the pad continues to be covered. On the north side of the launch mount, the pipe that feeds the top plate deflector has been lifted. A short, tapered section at the bottom is all that remains to connect to the underground water supply. To the top side of the pipe, the main hatch for the lowest level of the launch mount has been installed. The opposite side is also being prepared with the hatch panel staged nearby. The blast wall for the water tank sees further progress. Rebar mats have been lifted ahead of the concrete formwork being installed. A new trench filled with electrical conduit is also seen leading toward the launch mount. Checking in on the water farm where it appears new footings are taking shape for what appears to be a sixth smaller water tank. Crews are placing the steel embed in the rebar cage. Near the methane tanks, 4 tank pedestals are seen. These have been staged for several weeks, but where they would be used was unclear until this week's flyover. The pump farm received 1 more pump and motor this week, installed in the 7th methane location. During this flyover, we can see the 4 LOX hippos frosted over for JSC testing. This week there has been significant work at Pad 1, as hardware is prepared for the OLM-1 ship testing. The ring wall stand can be seen quite clearly here due to this being the first launch site flyover at only 6,000 feet. 4 of the 6 RVAC support structures can be seen installed, with the remaining 2 staged near the white tent. Near the OLM, a steel frame is connected to the crane prior to being lifted to the back hood of the BQD. Just above, 2 side frame pieces are being fabricated and were assembled into another frame attached to the top of the BQD. In this ground image from Sean Giesler, the 2 frames can be seen, and some pipe assemblies have been test fitted, as they were removed the following day. It's possible they may be reinstalled soon though. Returning to the air, several holes have been cut into various places for access to the systems needed for testing. We'll keep looking in coming weeks as we follow this adaptation of the launch mount. Well, that's it for episode 89 of Starbase Flyover Update. Thank you for choosing to fly with RGV aerial photography, and we hope you all enjoyed the flight. If you liked what you saw today, please subscribe for more episodes and content so you don't miss out on the new videos each week. I'm Jeff A, and we hope to see you again from 6,000 feet.